Should not have said that.
Hi everyone, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Allison. Friends call me Al, and you should too.
You are our friends. We are the people of Biblical Baggage, and we're here to kind of just tell you what we're about and why we're doing this, yada yada yada.
We're about fun Old Testament stories and trying to add some context and historical know-how to it.
Yeah. So Al likes to call the Bible the best book never read.
Best book never read. It's always on the New York Times bestseller, but I have a feeling not many people go through the Old Testament at all. At most, they go through the New Testament, and then usually not so much.
A lot of the times people like to quote verses and laws from the Old Testament, but it's maybe out of context or does not really fit with our society. So what we're trying to do is give stories, laws, context for the time and see what parts of the stories are historical, what parts are not so historical based on archaeology.
Culture changes, and what we know about morality changes as well. A lot of those verses come from the Old Testament, and people, if they would read throughout the context, would see that those verses are also next to the verses that are talking about not wearing clothes of the same cloth, like no cotton and polyester. Also no tassels, because that's only for priests. People use the Old Testament to dignify slavery.
Right.
And also they used it to try and keep biracial marriages apart, saying that people have used verses out of context many times, or even in context when it comes to the Old Testament, to be honest.
And applying the culture from like way back then to what we're trying to do now and how Christians and non-Christians like us live our lives is not really
It's not
applicable.
the right thing.
Yeah. There's also a lot of stories from the Old Testament that just a lot of people don't know or don't really realize when they're reading
entertaining.
through. So we're kind of like picking apart, re-explaining it to you in a way that's easier to understand, because a lot of them are really funny, and so hopefully you find them funny as well.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And we actually understand what's happening, and you go through it and have an understanding of where the Israelites are and what's going on.
And why something is such a big deal or not a big deal. But yeah, so hopefully you, if you want to listen, give us a listen, you can go and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, basically any location. Let us know if it's not on the location of your choice, and we'll try to get there. And you can come and unpack the Old Testament with us.
It's the baggage the New Testament's got along, and I think it'll help you have a greater understanding.